Good morning. Welcome to day 2 of the DocLands Documentary Film Festival. I wanted to introduce you. I'm Joni Cooper, Director of Programming for DocLands, and this is our programming team. We've got Ken Jacobson, who has been with us for 5 years.
I think it's only 4.
4 years, okay. Kelly Clement, who's been here from the beginning, from the start, which is now his 6th year.
Wow.
Yes, and he also programs for the Mill Valley Film Festival. And Michelle Svensson is our new programmer from this year. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so pleased to have everybody. It's been really just lots of fun programming this year, and we hope that you like what we like, because of course we're programming for our audience. And so today we were just going to talk a little bit about what we like in the films that we program and which ones we think are kind of quintessential DocLands films. So Ken, how about you? What do you think?
Well, I would just say, I was thinking about this, and I think all of our filmmakers, I think of them as explorers. They're always exploring something. They're also sort of adventurers, and they go on these expeditions with their films. And sometimes these journeys are external, they're going to an exotic place, or they're internal and they're personal journeys. But there's always some kind of exploratory process.
Yeah.
And I think that's so infectious,
Yeah.
And so, there's a couple of films today. One is The Territory, which is playing at 1 o'clock. We have the director, Alex Pritz, coming today. And, that's a really fascinating exploration of what's going on with one particular native indigenous group in South America and how they're basically fighting for survival.
Exactly. And what's so great about it too is it's a personal story about the Amazon and the rainforest, which we haven't really seen that much of, that personal. So that's, I think, another aspect.
Yeah, I think also our films, the films in DocLands are both intimate and kind of sprawling,
Yes.
And that's the case with this film.
Yeah.
Another film playing today at 2:30 is Let the Little Light Shine. We have the director, Kevin Shaw, and the producer, who's also here. And, that to me is an example of a film that is just gripping from the beginning to the end. It's about education, public education in Chicago. You don't know how it's going to come out in the end. And it's actually pretty inspiring.
And I was just going to say that the one thing that I find kind of overreaching is that I find almost every DocLands film is inspiring in some way. It goes along with what you said. Yeah. And Michelle, how about you? What do you think?
Well, actually, both the films that I would kind of pick fall into totally the same category as well. Especially Crows Are White. That one's playing on Sunday at 7 by director Asim Nadim, who's actually here for the festival and will be there for the film. And in the beginning, you think you're going to kind of go on maybe an anthropological observational study, and it turns out to be something completely different.
And it's entertaining.
Very
Oh my gosh, so
entertaining, yes. Very personal and intimate, and also sad and comedic at times too. Yeah, that one's probably recommend that as a great way to end the festival on Sunday night. And then also Exposing My Bridge. That one's playing on Saturday at 8 o'clock. The director, Mark Schaffer, is going to be here, and so is his producer, I think, Sergino Roseblood.
Yes.
Yeah, and God, what a masterfully crafted film. From beginning to end. And the story, it's an archival story, but it feels like real time. You kind of feel like you're hearing a personal dramatization of something happening now. Just exciting from beginning to end.
And Gary Oldman.
Exactly. I was just going to say, because again, so entertaining because of Gary Oldman's passion for My Bridge, and he just carries you away because he's so funny. He's so passionate,
so animated about it. You would think that he knew My Bridge personally.
Yeah.
He
probably kind of does in a way after all his research and gathering.
Yes, we are talking about the actor Gary Oldman, and it turns out he's a Muybridge collector.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you think, Kelly?
Well, I tend to agree with both of you. I think, quintessential DocLands films have a lot of drama in them. And one of the ones we're going to see tomorrow is incredible. Tigre Gente starts off in the lush jungles of Bolivia and then immediately goes to the glittering cities of China. And it's actually a mystery. You
Yes.
wonder what is going on, and you find out that it's about illegal trade that's going on between South America and China, and very suspenseful, very real.
Yeah.
And the director will be here with it, Elizabeth Unger. It's her first film, and it's the start of a very brilliant career for her.
I think so too.
And another one that I commend is going to be playing tomorrow, La Recua, the mule pack train. And that's quintessential in that a lot of the DocLands films, as Ken pointed out, is about journeys. And this one is the quintessential journey.
Mm-hmm. And quintessential also because of the cinematic quality to it. That's what I find too. And just that slow travel.
Yeah, if you've ever wanted to go down the coast of Baja California on the back of a pack train, this is the movie for you to see.
Yeah.
You'll be there.
You will. It takes you there.
And the director will be here for that too, Trudy Anhill, who is a Northern California filmmaker.
And that's true. We do have a bunch of Bay Area or Northern California filmmakers. We've got Exposing Muybridge is Mark Schaefer, who's an East Bay filmmaker. And tomorrow, San Francisco-based filmmaker Sarah Dosa is going to be here with her film Fire of Love, which is really one of my favorite films of the year. It's just incredibly well-crafted, gorgeous archival footage of exploding volcanoes, which I'm a sucker for. And it's a great character study as well.
Exactly. And I think for me, for example, I like films that kind of take it out of the traditional kind of documentary box, and they try different things. So this year, what I found is there were a few filmmakers who were looking at climate change, extinction, recycling, and that kind of thing using a different way, rather than just taking the scientific facts and presenting them. They did it in different ways. And these three filmmakers are going to be on a panel Sunday morning at 10 talking about how and why they have started to reach out in a different way, because obviously we're not listening to the facts because climate change we're not doing anything about it. So one of them is Carbon, the Unauthorized Biography, and Niobe Thompson, one of the co-directors, will be here. And he's got a background in science, but he has determined that he's got to reach out in a different way. So that is a fabulous film. It's got interviews with scientists who have fully embraced the fact that carbon is a female entity. And they talk about basically talking about a wronged woman, because carbon is essential. It's an essential element. And it's really interesting how he leads us into that and comes out with an issue. And second one there is Everything Will Change. This film is a total hybrid doc. So it's doc and partly narrative. It takes place in the year 2054. And through three students, they take us on a journey where they discover what's happened back in 2020. Like, they had no idea there were wild animals or animals, period. And when they see a giraffe and they realize, oh my God, that was a real thing. Did you guys know back in 2020 what you were doing? And so this is another way to get us to look at what we're doing. It's like, because it's very realistic. And it also has live interviews with scientists from the year 2020. So the filmmaker and one of the film subjects will be there. And the third film that's taking part of the panel is Scrap, which we're hosting. Tracy Tannenbaum's U.S. premiere, actually North America or international premiere, because she's only screened it in her home country. And she will be here as well. And she's taking a look at mostly scrap metal and what can be done with it after the fact. And it's just a gorgeous film. She uses beauty to pull us in and take us through that. So those three films are kind of, I see as a little bit of a theme in terms of doing things differently.
Absolutely, and I would throw Living Wine into that mix as well, which is screening on Sunday at 3 p.m. And speaking of premieres, it's a world premiere.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're really excited about that film and about having the filmmaker here. And what's great about it is it profiles winemakers who are not following the traditional path of using lots of chemicals and being really harsh on the environment, and trying to come up with methods for making wine that are just much gentler and better for the earth and for all of us. And it's about wine.
Yes,
we all the Bay Area.
And the winemakers are going to be there too. Some of them, And one other one that I would like to mention is La Guerra Civil. It's like, I would never have thought that I was going to love a film about boxers, but I do. I do. It's such it was a woman director, Eva Longoria Baston, she's an actress, but she's also a film director. And I think because of her sensibility, I felt so drawn to both boxers and their intense relationship, but that they respect each other so much. And it's a really terrific film. And we'll be screening tonight at 7:30 p.m. So I highly recommend those too. And all of them, that's why they're at DocLands. They're quintessential DocLands films. So we hope that you guys can take in as many as you can and join us.
Absolutely. And I think based on our experience at opening night last night, having the filmmakers here interacting with the audience is just a really special occasion. And I think for a bunch of us, this is the first time back in a movie theater in over 2 years. And it was truly wonderful. And
the filmmakers were just so grateful, and we were honored to be able to show this amazing, gorgeous,
and the audio and the theater, I mean, the music, it was amazing.
I was getting choked up just watching the trailer.
Yes, exactly. And again, it's like, oh my God, we're back in the theater, and everybody was just blown away because it was such an incredible soundtrack and
cinematic.
Just come and see them on the big screen the way the filmmakers have wanted them to be seen, because it makes such a difference emotionally and orally, everything.
And I did start out by talking about journeys, and there's one other film, Exposure, which is playing tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Right.
And that is quite a literal journey film. A group of amazing women go up to the North Pole. And it's also an environmentally themed film. It may be one of the last expeditions ever able to go to the North Pole. So definitely come and check it out. And we have guests with that as well.
Yes, and that's another one that actually they're going in a roundabout kind of way to talk about climate change through this amazing journey of women from all over the world. So thanks for tuning in, and see you all at the movies. Thanks also to our sponsor for DocTalk, Make It Better Media Group. Thanks so much.